Today we're going to talk about how people diet in a similar way they use a credit card, how that can lead to dangerous or problematic things. So look, when it comes to dieting, a lot of people kind of are confusing the key concepts, and that's understandable because there's a lot of information these days out there about diet. But when it comes to it, the main thing with regards to weight loss or weight gain is calories. All right, you have so much calories to spend in the day. If you go over your budget of calories on a daily basis for a long time, you will gain weight. If you go under your calories for a long time, you will lose weight. If you strike a balance in between, some days you're high, some days you're low, you'll probably be at maintenance calories, which means you'll stay the weight you are. Now, people get this concept when it comes to money very quickly. You only have so much money you make, and so much of that money has to go on essentials. And the money you've left over goes on non-essential items. So this brings us to the credit card. So there's times when, there's things we want or there's things we don't have the money for initially, and we'll use a credit card to buy those things in the hope, of course, that when the bill comes around, we can pay it off and not have to pay the high interest. And your diet is the same, so you can do this similarly with your diet. If, for example, you have a social event on a weekend and you know you're going to go over your calories by a lot, because there's going to be rich foods and there's going to be alcohol and things like that, maybe the next week you undereat your calories, so you compensate for overeating your calories. Now that is, simplistic terms, that's what we should do. Unfortunately, that's not always what we do. And similar with the credit cards, when you get that bill and if you can't pay it back, interest gets applied on it very quickly. Now the thing about that is that hurts right now. So when they apply the interest to that credit card, you've got to start paying it back very quickly, or that debt quite quickly mounts up, and before you know it, you're under a lot of debt that you can't get out from under, and things get a bit dire. Now, that is the worst case scenario with a credit card, but that is what happens. Now, your diet is very similar, but it happens more slowly. So when you overeat calories consistently on a daily basis for a long period of time, you will slowly gain weight. Now, it'll be a pound here and there slowly, then eventually 2 pounds, 3 pounds. Before you know it, you're half stone up, a stone up, another year goes another stone, another stone, and you don't know how you got there. Now, that's basically just like interest on your credit card debt. It slowly builds up, and before you know it, you're overweight or you're carrying excess body fat that you don't need. And the further you get away from it, the harder it is to pull back. And the reason for that is it requires a lot of lifestyle and behavioral changes. Now, it is not impossible by no means, but it requires a lot of willpower, a lot of behavioral changes, and a lot of social changes. So what my advice to people is look, if you do struggle with overeating on weekends, try to save up some calories during the week. Try and be aware of how much calories you're eating. And no more different than money, and this is where it is a bit unfair, is we all only have so much to spend and we have so much essentials to spend it on. So make sure when you are spending your calories or eating your calories on foods and liquids, you're getting the right amount for you. Now, if you're wondering where to get that information, there are TDEE calculators online, so total daily energy expenditure calculators online, and you can use various tracking apps like MyFitnessPal to give you estimates of how much calories you need, and then you can start from there and see how you're getting on. All right, if you're gaining weight, the estimator is wrong, and you can lower the estimation down a bit. If you're losing weight, and you want to lose weight, then you should be happy out and you're the right road. But just be mindful that just like using a credit card too much and overspending gets you into trouble, overeating your calories on a daily basis is what gets you into trouble. Hope that tip helps, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Cheers.